This college basketball picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Go to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Rhythm is giving away a $250 future and throwing a March Madness party. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for all the details.
Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones.
You like that? Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner on picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Dog.
Hello, Sean. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday indeed. Super Tuesday. Any Tuesday is super. We got this much college basketball action. We're going to be joined here by Colby Dant, a.k.a. Pick Dundee from the college experience. Colby Dant hopping on. While he's joining us, quick programming note, or I don't know how you would describe it. Making Bacon, the New Zealand butcher, who's a regular in our show. He shows up on the live stream, depending on when we fire off these the streams. But Making Bacon, there's someone who is going on a camping trip, another listener in New Zealand. He wants to come to your butcher shop and buy his meats from you. So, Ryan, we're using the power of the podcast to broker New Zealand meat purchases. So Making Bacon, hit me up. I'll get you connected. Colby, what's happening, man? Happy Tuesday.
I'm on that blue cat.
Oh, no.
Ain't shit, man. Let's go. Dog, cat.
Colby, leave and come back. You're a robot again.
How's that possible?
Colby. How's that
possible?
It's the modern. I would unfortunately, Colby. What is it with oil and water? It doesn't ever mix. It feels like Colby and technology.
Yes,
I don't know the appropriate metaphor actually. Mercury and blood.
Wait, mercury and blood. Where are you getting that from?
I don't think they'll mix. It's a metal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like things that will not actually combine to be one. It's not even like oil and vinegar that mix together and then eventually separate again. It's just they're just complete. It's a positive and a negative on a magnet, not compatible. Okay. Anyway,
all right. You're no one. I feel like mercury and blood is that's not a reference people use a ton, right?
No, not at all. I was freestyling.
People usually just go with the mercury and water, and yeah, we got not a bad night college basketball. I'm sitting on 8-6, couple games pending. Haven't been doing good with the locks. We really have to discuss that. But while we do, let's see. Yeah, well, let's see. We're joined by Colby.
It's the ultimate soldier. It doesn't get happy. It doesn't get sad. It doesn't laugh at your jokes. It is quite simple.
It doesn't get happy.
Favorite robot on Earth.
At Nova Robotics, the future is in good hands.
You're doing real good. Just keep working on those last two bars.
Thanks to Dr. Newton Crosby.
Originally, I designed it as a marital aid.
But artificial intelligence has gotten too smart.
It's malfunctioning. It might not do anything.
But it could decide to blow away anything that moves, couldn't it?
Because $11 million worth of robot just hit the road.
Oh man, the 80s were such an awesome movie.
Welcome to my planet.
You just have to find number 5, get some answers.
Why don't you come on in my house?
And it's got a lot of living to do.
Whatever it takes to put that stupid contraption out of commission, that's what you do.
Me input. Haven't had enough of this stuff.
More input. More input.
Wow, this really is like AI.
But they are still machines.
Number 5 is alive.
Nice software.
How it happens, who knows?
Whoa.
A new comedy adventure from John Badham, the director of War Games.
They're gonna be after you. We gotta get out of here now. Keep alarm.
Ali Sheedy, Steve Gutenberg, and number 5,
Beautiful.
Short Circuit.
I am alive.
Oh man, what a classic! Also, it was such a It was such an '80s movie. They even had to put in a horny part about him commenting on the chick's boobs. I totally forgot about that part.
It is wild. I've done this a ton with the kids, just trying to get them to watch a movie. They always want to watch the trailer, and then old school, not modern trailers are like a seizure waiting to happen. The old ones, it's like a whole bunch of slow scenes, and it's just like, no, they're out too long, ready to move on.
Johnny 5. All right, Colby is back, and we got to talk. We got to talk because we discussed that fixing was possibly going on in college basketball. 2 of the teams that made the list of potential fix jobs. I even mentioned it. I go, are we sure we're locking up Eastern Michigan and Richmond? And we did well on our consensus stuff, minus the teams that we discussed that are probably rigging things, and the Pat Forde article, which make sure you go check that out. Pat Forde, good college sports podcast host as well, reporter for Yahoo News, and he had the basically this guy tied to the Jonte Porter, and then he was tied to a bunch of schools, and they've been popping up. TCE has been on some of these schools, the Fresno State, the Eastern Michigan, and they even laid out how they did it, where they would get dogged in the first half and then play a really good second half, which is exactly what Eastern Michigan did. Why, Colby? Why someone had to stop us? Why? I mentioned it as we were locking them up, but I love the situation, so I rolled with it. We have to remember rigging games bigger than good situation spots.
Colby, come on, what's up?
Well, I mean, it's good
You're
content, guys. It's good content. But it's a national story. You guys, I know you guys don't like to deep sea dive too much, especially Real Money Kramer over there. That I know, he's got a snorkel mask probably in his left hand right now.
Not yet.
But yeah, I mean, look, this has been the MO on this. We've. And I'll even take it back to last year when Temple got caught. We were on top of that weeks before that shit too. We were like, what is going on? Why do they keep that would be like a 2-point game. The spread would be 8.5. There's 40 seconds left. And somehow or another, they lose by 9.
Colby, new company procedure from the very top. Create a list of teams that you think are throwing games, and any other teams that are currently listed as being investigated by the FBI. Those are all, and every time those games come up from now until the end of the season, I need an alert on my desk saying fade these teams. That is an edict here on SGPN.
Hang on, I got John Walsh calling me.
I was gonna say, can we get a template?
I was hitting up at FBI. We'll see if they check their social media, but they should certainly watch watch that Eastern Michigan ending. My God. And also unrelated, I don't think this one was crooked, but fucking Cincinnati, they were up huge, end up winning by 2. We picked it at 2.5. I bet it here in Cincinnati at 2. So luckily I pushed, but grading it as a loss on the sheet. Hopefully if you bet it, you at least got the push. But man, they were up huge.
Sean, did you go to the book? I'm hoping you went to the book where that Alabama college baseball shit went down. Remember it was in Cincinnati?
I do almost want to take a photo of be like, hey, this is where the guy who, you know how they're selling Woj. Well, Colby wouldn't know, but they are selling Woj's phone. Woj is auctioning off his phone, the phone he used to break the news that that COVID was going to cancel the NBA season, which is just he's doing it for charity, so it's hard to make fun of him. but here
Who wants
goes.
that phone?
That is
I wouldn't pay $1 for that fucking phone.
I would pay for the microphone that Rudy Gobert spread COVID on for comedy's sake. That was pretty funny when he's like, "Oh, I have COVID," and he put it all on, and it turned out he had COVID, and of course everyone thought they were gonna die, and they were fine. I would buy those microphones, and then Woj, it's like where he broke the news that, and he's posing with the phone. I mean, come on, that's
not real. It's not real.
It's 100% real, Rad.
It's not real. That's the dumbest fucking thing that's the dumbest piece of, and what's crazy is, so if you're Darren Ravel, you obviously need to buy it for an extremely high price so people can be impressed with you. But who else is bidding on it? You're bidding against yourself.
No.
It's just Darren Ravel and burners.
Colby just learned who Woj was last year.
Yeah.
And there was one of the items you could bid on is a one-on-one Zoom call with Woj, and we'll see what the price goes for. Because there's right on the edge of, hey, this is funny enough for a joke, but if it's like $200, I don't know, Kramer, what is our budget for Woj calls to Colby?
Well, is it? Yeah, I mean, is it to Colby though?
I got a lot to tell him. I got a lot to tell. I want to thank him. I want to thank him because he took the general managing position at St. Bonaventure, and I've been fading them all year.
Wow. Can't be Colby.
He's paying me in a way.
Okay, Colby. I think I mean for $200, I feel like we do it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna dig a little deeper, make sure we see what charity this is going to, where the money's actually going. But Colby, you could be getting a virtual phone call from Adrian Wojnarowski.
But just tell him ahead of time. I'm on that fucking blue cane.
Okay.
Blue wait,
cane, baby.
So dinner with Woj. You have to submit an offer.
Yeah.
Someone has offered $2,000 for his ESPN ID badge.
What?
Who are these people?
Why is he selling all this shit? It sounds like the charity is him.
That Bonnie's NIL collector is a little weak.
Yeah. He's like, I need a point guard.
I'm officially submitting for our good friend Colby Dant, huge fan. He'll go nuts. Okay, I'm offering. It's an offer. I'm offering $200. The benefits. It helps support the St. Bonnie's NIL fund. All right, offer has been submitted. $200. Woj.
He's selling shit to raise money for the NIL fund.
That's pretty funny.
You know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about. You guys remember Ted Marchibroda? Ted Marchibroda. Pittsburgh high school football legend, by the way. Him and Unitas used to have these fucking games, but he played football at St. Bonaventure. They got rid of that program, so we're going to talk a lot about that. And he's going to be, he didn't cover football, right?
Woj, no.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to covered football.
Yeah,
are they got a good football program up there?
It's been gone for like 50 years.
So now we definitely need to make this phone call happen.
Yeah. It'll just be Colby berating him about getting the football program
just
started.
Record it, Colby, and we'll just put it out as
he obviously has to record
podcast host tries to convince Woj to create football program.
And we'll just be like, thank you, Cody. I appreciate your donation to the Bonnie's Fund. All right.
That would be funny to donate a ridiculous amount of money and be like, whoa, start like this is for the football team though. Well,
you can have all this money.
Football.
Yeah.
We got an awesome slate of games. And before we get started there, of course, DGen Madness, promo code Madness, 20% off everything in the merch store. Beanies, we got the hats. Just greenlit a sweet DGen's St. Patrick's Day shirt. A lot to get in over there. And of course, with March Madness right around the corner, you got to sign up with Rhythm. Sign up over on Rhythm. Get started there. Get the 7-day free trial. Plus, if you're going to be out in Vegas, you can hang out with us at Stadium Swim, Circa Las Vegas, that Wednesday night before the tournament kicks off officially, enjoying some Final Fours, some cocktails, Colby, Mac, me, Kramer, possibly some other SGPN personalities, and it's going to be a good hang. And if you can make it out, if you can't make it out, either way, you can enter for a chance to win a $250 March Madness future. That's right, completely free. One random rhythm user is going to get a $250 ticket. All you got to do, go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party to get started today. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party.
I have a question. Can that ticket be a parlay for that night or the weekend?
Well, so logistically, we'll draw the winner at the party. Maybe there's a chance they're there. If they're not, they'll get an email from me immediately. And I will immediately get in whatever you want for March Madness. Now, maybe you put in a crazy first half under parlay, whatever the Circa will allow that I can get $250 on, I will do it. Now, maybe you want a team to make it to the Final Four, whatever it is, $250 ticket coming your way. No questions asked. My other question is, why aren't you guys betting over on Edge Boost? Love my Edge Boost Visa debit card. Was just using it. Made a quick trip here to Cincinnati, hanging out with the in-laws. We had a nice layover in Denver. Of course, also, Denver, Ohio, two states with a bunch of legal betting apps, DFS sites, sweepstakes, whatever it is. Use the Edge Boost Visa card. And you're getting cash back. So I racked up a bunch of cash back, got in on a couple futures, and I used some of the previous cash back I had already racked up to get down on Oregon to make the Final Four, Utah State. I found it 80-1 for Utah State. 35-1 was the best I found for Oregon. And of course, head over to edgeboost.bet, sign up, do us a solid. It's free. The card's free. No credit check. So literally nothing. Hey, if you use it, cool. If not, what are you waiting for? Highly recommend it. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Kramer.
That was the sound of you being sharp and getting that sick ass rewards, cash back.
It's free money. Normally you get cash back rewards. It just goes to your credit card bill. Who gives a fuck about that? Or it gives you some airline miles. I want free money to bet on. Come on.
I didn't share this with you, Sean, but before the night ended for me at the Circa, I did go circle back to my favorite cash in my free play slot machine, where I found that I had a tremendous amount of free play that I was unaware of. So I sat down and, whittled a little bit away, but cashed it out. So it was a nice little end of the month.
Well, I do
love
the
rewards.
Circa will give you like, I don't know, depending $10-20 of free play a month, maybe higher, depending if you're a slot junkie like Kramer, maybe it's a couple hundred.
Yeah, that's about right.
For me, it's never anything crazy, but what I do is I just immediately put it in the video blackjack, and then whatever it is, $10-20. I play 2 hands of blackjack, maybe 3, then instantly cash it out, and then walk right over to the sports book and put it on some crazy long shot. That's how literally a pizza bet.
Got to wash it through the machine real quick.
Colby, what's going on there? You're locked
Colby
in on
concerned.
What are we watching there? We're sweating out a couple games still in play. Santa Clara, Gonzaga, and New Mexico City.
No. I was making a. Yeah, and the Nevada game just went to an end. Big win for Steve Alford there, even though it was against a shitty Wyoming team. But a win is a win is a win. But yeah, how about tomorrow's slate? It's got some fire matchups.
Shout out to Avetta. Avetta is an OG because she immediately recognized the sword sound effect and remembered when we had this sweet advertiser of Sword Vitality.
Oh man,
one of the failed erection pill companies. Brian, remember the videos?
Why don't we have an erection pleasure enhancement partner right now, Sean? If you run a dick pill situation, or Maybe you got some new herbs that help your dick work better. Or maybe it's your lady parts. Okay. You know, probably not our demographic, but we'll talk about it. Sean will, at least.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't care.
Should we talk about the college basketball games for Wednesday, February 26th? Is everyone ready to do that?
Let's go.
No dab time. Japan. I don't know where he is. He's late to class today. 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to College Park, Maryland, where Michigan State shows up as 3.5-point dogs against the Terps. Colby, is Maryland a team we need to pay attention to over the next couple weeks?
Here's the thing I'll say. Like, Kevin Willard historically has been terrible in March. Now, to be fair though, his best team was ruined by COVID. But I'm kind of, if you're looking for I guess it's not that big of a surprise anymore. They're 16th in the nation, but I think they're like talent wise, they're a good team and they can go far. I wonder about Willard. I wonder about in-game adjustments for the tournament we're talking here, but for this specific game, I love Maryland here. Look, you're getting Sparty off that big win against Michigan State. They're going to College Park now. Say what you want about Maryland. Maryland, before they joined the Big Ten, was a top 5, top 10 hardest place to grab a win on their home court. Crowds bananas. It still shows up for big games. This is a big game, and to me, I love what Maryland has from a scoring option point of view. Just multiple guys that can create shots and get shots. Queen, Gillespie, Reese, all those guys. I'm laying that number with the Terps. I think they put it on Michigan State at home here.
I mean, there's no way I'm going against Tom Izzo as a dog. Are you kidding me? I know they're coming off that Michigan win, and it potentially could be a letdown spot. But you give Tom Izzo points. You give Tom Izzo points when his team is almost hitting 80% from the line. What are we talking about? At number 12 in defensive efficiency, 4-1-1 ATS as a dog. I mean, Colby, I respect the handicap. I understand why the appeal of Maryland here is, but this is going to be a 1-score game. So I'm loving the 3.5.
Well, I was going to let everyone know this is a pros versus Joe's game. Colby and I pros, Sean, Joe. Did you bring the snorkel? Did you bring the mask? The Cincy, Sean. Might be doing some shallow water excursions in the
Kramer. Play the donkey sound effect.
Oh boy. Here it is.
Top middle. It's Dominic the donkey. Come on.
Yeah, no. I'm the water's clean in Cincinnati, right? That's how they.
You know where else the water is clean in, Ryan? Sean Island. My island plays 2-1 last episode. So welcome to Sean Island. I'm one man, one island. Give me Michigan State plus 3.5.
Sounds like a scary place where the government did experiments back in the 50s. 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Another one. We're heading to Hartford, Connecticut for UConn and Georgetown. This has been a glorious season for the haters of Dan Hurley. This is not his best team, and he's like being the biggest. He's being the most petulant child he's been in some time. Or maybe it's just more noticeable because they're not winning. UConn's laying 13.5 here.
Yeah, it's just because they're not winning, right? Like if he was winning, none of this, him getting teed up, him saying he's the best coach, like that doesn't even make news.
This is where
it only makes news because they're losing, right?
Yeah, this is where people say apologetically, they'll apologetically, himself or some way of like dressing
unapologetically.
Up he's a fucking asshole. It's like, all right, well now he's an asshole. He's not even winning games. Obviously, in light of what's happened recently with the Providence fans, we're even bigger Ed Cooley supporters.
Oh, well, real quick, shout out to Marquette. Just BTA belt to ass to those Providence whiny ass bitches. Program hasn't been shit since Ed Cooley left. Yeah. You guys, you wish you could get a coach as good as Ed Cooley again. Providence.
Oh yeah, double lock on the college experience. Lay that big number. I didn't want to, put that on the show and give them light, but
they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Who's that? Moneyline hack.
Mid Mac.
Yeah, mid Mac Moneyline hack. Our Moneyline Mac might need to release a diss track.
Hell yeah!
Have we considered that? Colby, you are kind of like a DJ with the soundboard. Perhaps you can produce something.
Colby, I mean, Mac loves hip hop, right? The culture, the music. he just like the just what it does for this country.
He's one of the guys. He's one of the guys that tells you Limp Bizkit's hip hop.
If I just showed you his jaw, you'd be like, nah, he's not into rap. All you need to see is his traps, and Mac's not into that.
Traps.
Kanye. Yeah, he walks around like a guy who enjoys a piece of hay hanging out of his mouth and some banjo.
I'll be honest. When I met Mac the first time in person and he didn't chew tobacco, part of me was disappointed. I'll admit it. I'm like, wait, I'm the chew guy? You're from West Virginia. Come on.
Isn't that like an appetizer at the restaurants there in Morgantown?
How do you get through? Yeah, it's like, hey, what do you want a side of ranch with your side of dip?
No, it's like you go to a good Italian restaurant. They got the cheese, the big plate of cheese out.
They have a spittoon. They got a spittoon at a Cracker Barrel. And now, Jake, if you're watching the show, write that down. SGPN spittoon. That would be our audience. Come on, where the dip heads at?
I'm taking Georgetown. Fuck Dan Hurley. And sorry, UConn fans. Not sorry. UConn fans are kind of obnoxious and annoying. We're
13.5 is a lot. UConn.
And not a home game, right? Not a home, not a true
Is that the
game.
XL Center?
So doing well at there at the XL
I'm still
Center,
laying it, man. Sorber's out.
Really?
He's out for Georgetown. Same with Caleb Williams. I don't think is going to play. They say game time decision. UConn needs it, man. UConn needs it. I'm gonna lay it.
What's this?
Yeah,
number?
they've just been so bad covering big numbers at home. 4-8-1 ATS. Georgetown doesn't Georgetown need it, Colby? Come on.
I'm updating this to 12.5. It's moved a little bit, Colby.
Oh, even better.
But yeah, I'm still taking it. Another worth noting. Ken Palm has this only 9, and Torvik has 9 too. So way off.
Oh.
Georgetown defensive efficiency is better than UConn's. I think 12.5 is too high. I'm taking the Hoyas. Colby, you're locking in on UConn.
Yeah, I think they need to. I think coming back after that embarrassing loss at the Garden, I think they put it on. Another thing is, not only is Georgetown have major injuries, their second leading scorer Sorber out, is they've just been all over the place as far as they went to Omaha, right? And for this back-to-back away, they couldn't be further from each other in the Big East. And then you have also the tragedy that he dealt with his mom passing away, Ed Cooley, that is. So I think it's a good spot for UConn.
All right, good luck. Go against Ed Cooley. Sean, make a note to remind Colby he faded Ed Cooley on the next show. Which next college basketball show, for those wondering, Thursday night. We'll cover the Saturday slate, and maybe will we be able to cover the Atlantic Sun tournament? Maybe we'll see. Vanderbilt. I appreciate you throwing every Texas A&M game on the slate. I feel like we've been mushing them though, or I've been mushing them. Vanderbilt,
yes, you have.
Heads to College Station. A&M laying 7.5. It's got to be a get right game. Embarrassing performance against Tennessee. Embarrassing performance by Buzz Williams, by everyone, the entire team. I'm laying it though. I'm going back to the well. Bounce back spot. Colby.
Yeah, I normally don't like to lay this big of a number with Buzz, but it's all about the spot. It's all about the spot here. Vanderbilt just got one of their biggest wins of the season. A&M has dropped 2 in a row, most experienced team in the SEC, and remember what they have next. They better get this because Florida and Auburn are next. So I think they win by 20 tomorrow. I think they put it on Vandy in a desperate spot with the most experienced team in the SEC.
No, I've been fading Texas A&M in certain situation spots. I can see through Kramer's love affair with old Buzz Williams, but this actually is a good spot to take Texas A&M. They've been pretty good as a home favorite. This is maybe a hair high, but I think coming off back-to-back losses, they're going to play some pretty good defense. And to Colby's point, Vandy coming off that win against Ole Miss, now going on the road. This is a tough spot for Vandy. So Texas A&M rolls in College Station.
They're going to dominate them on the boards. Shoot a lot of free throws. We've seen this version, and Buzz is going to look incredibly well dressed on the sideline. Eastern Kentucky taking on North Florida down in Jacksonville. Beautiful Jacksonville, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. I may be wrong about this, but I believe Jacksonville is the by land area largest city in the United States. North Florida laying a point here. Yeah, mind blowing, right? How could that possibly be true? Why would Jacksonville need to be so large? Like what were they doing down there that it needed to be such a large area?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
why are we talking about this game? This feels like one of those we could have gotten down to 15 games.
Vetta's going to the game. Shout out to Vetta.
Oh,
maybe doing some live reporting for SGPN.
Well, then I'm going to tell Vetta, whoever she likes in the game.
She let me tell you, she's going to she's from, I think, Jacksonville, so she's probably going to take North Florida, but I'm going to take Eastern Kentucky because well, first off, it's the final regular season day for the A-Sun. So everyone's jockeying for positioning here. If EKU wins, they can potentially get the 4 seed or maybe even the 3 seed if everything went right. And they were red hot a while ago, just like a week ago. They've dropped 2 straight. North Florida has been all over the place this year. North Florida out the gate beat South Carolina, beat Georgia Tech, played Georgia really tough for a long time in that game. And then in conference play, they've slipped up late. So it's kind of a fascinating game, but they can even come up and get the 5 seed potentially here. I like EKU though. I think they've been the better team in the second half of the season to go on the road and get that dub.
Duval.
And then they hire that pretty boy GM, Sean. What's going on?
It is weird. He's like here's a mirror image. I mean, Colby,
have you seen this guy?
Madden's rolling over in his grave. Don't look at Colby. Look at that face of Colby. He's very angry.
I'm going to show Colby.
I am with the Colby.
Who are we talking about?
No,
we're talking about the Jags.
Hold on. I found the perfect
GM.
I found the perfect picture to show Colby with. This will we're going to play a game which guy is the NFL GM, and will Colby be able to get this one right? Let's see. Here we go. All right, Colby. Which one of these men is an NFL GM?
Which one's the owner? Which one's the head coach? And which one's the GM?
The owner. So I'm assuming the GM is the far on the right.
He's the guy in the middle. What the hell?
Okay.
Sean. Yeah, the head coach isn't in this photo, but he looks like what's that? Secret Life of Sheldon, or what was the what's that show about that nerd? Big Bang Theory. This looks like a Big Bang Theory rap party.
All right, so this one actually has the coach and the GM next to each. I don't know who the third guy is, but I probably
looks like they're
know.
posing with the intern.
But all right, let's cut out the guy to the right. Imagine you saw the guy on the left and the guy in the middle, and you said one of these guys is a GM and one's a head coach. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. That's the equipment manager and the fucking sales guy.
Clark pointing out they look like they're here to sell you some shit coin. Yeah, this does look like a you invented one of the best Jag coin has been rising.
That's so
Jag
good.
coin has has a $2 million.
Liam Cohen looks like the fucking crypto guy, and the other guys look like the money guys that are scamming you. This is perfect.
Yeah,
it's really sad that I mean, if you want proof of football getting much worse, exhibit 3,475.
Come on, football's never been better. Birds won the Super Bowl.
Oh, it was Tony Baselli on the right. Okay, so it was next to a real. Hold on. Now with that context, I mean, how are these guys how are they going to gain respect in a football locker room? Although Liam Cohen must be pretty decent. Yeah, but look at the GM, little fucking weasel. This guy, he's not a man. I'd love to hear a Jags fan give me the positive take on all of this. I don't quite understand it. Anyway,
well, it's something different. I mean, you know, they've been running out the same kind of guys and getting screwed.
It's true. All right, so we're all on Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, Eastern Kentucky 10 percentage points better at the line. I don't like that this is their third road game. Colby, are we worried that this is their third road game in a row?
Final game of the season. It's all about the position. The playoffs start now. Let's go.
And it wasn't much of a travel spot for Eastern Kentucky. They're coming. I mean, they just played Jacksonville, so they should be all right. But yeah, I never liked the third road game in college basketball. But I'm with you, Eastern Kentucky. Let's go.
Yeah, this will have to be on God's eye. See if we can catch up.
Finger licking good.
Oh wow. Okay. What's that in reference to?
Oh, the Colonels, Kramer. Come on. Don't you remember? How high are you? Don't you remember our awesome riff calling it the bucket last week?
I appreciate that. The finger licking good was quite aggressive.
No, that's KFC's slogan.
It could be something else though too. Like someone might take that out of context.
Well, then they're free to do that.
Ole Miss, Auburn, Colby, what do you think's more likely to happen? Auburn gets knocked out before the Sweet 16, or Auburn wins the national championship?
Before the Sweet 16. I mean, they lost to Yale last year, guys.
Whoa,
the Yale
in the opening round. You know, I mean, Bruce Pearl's got to prove it to be in March, man.
Where would that? That was weird.
I don't remember.
Weird. Yeah, Ole Miss, Auburn laying a huge number, 12.5. Man, this Auburn. So when we picked Alabama last week to beat them at home beat Auburn at Alabama, then Auburn just skull fucked them. Auburn's good. Is this the best? This is the best Bruce Pearl team ever, right?
You got to think so, but he did make the Final Four that UVA year when the UVA won it all.
But this team is dumb. Like this team could go on a run like UConn went on a run. It feels like
it could. It could. I mean, talent wise, they're a really talented bunch. But I like Ole Miss in the spot a lot actually, because guess what? The Kentucky game's on deck, and I don't care how many times you throw out there and say, well, you know, Kentucky's further back in the SEC. Kentucky is the most blue blood program in this goddamn conference. So they're going to have, and that's at Rupp. So they're looking at that. Meanwhile, Ole Miss lost 2 in a row. This reminds me of the Arkansas game in a way. Remember Arkansas went in there, covered easily, and was actually like tied up at the 3-minute mark.
Yeah. I mean, you could look at a couple to where, or even Tennessee, where they had, you know, I guess they wouldn't be looking ahead to LSU, but still, like, it does seem like if they have a big conference game the next game, it's not an amazing spot for them.
And Ole Miss went on the road, won at Alabama. Why can't they go to Auburn and at least cover this number? I think they will. And the fact they're off 2 losses, I think it's a good spot here. I think it's all about the spot. Actually, the number's just a little bit off for an Ole Miss team that's been battle tested on the road. They have a winning record on the road. So let's go. Give me the points. Auburn wins probably 6, 7, 8, something like that.
Sean, we're gonna do some. I'm gonna let you know information that I'm gonna use at least. This is an automatic play on Auburn. Colby went out of his way to not point out that the jungle is gonna be lit. This is talk about a fixed job. Get the FBI looking into this one. Lay the points with Auburn.
I'm riding with my man Dundee here. I like the potential look ahead spot. I like Ole Miss coming off that Vandy loss. I think they'll have a little extra spring in their step. It is scary fading Auburn, but I think this number is a hair too high. So I will side with Dundee, and I'll take Ole Miss here.
Prediction: Auburn loses in like the second round of the SEC tournament. They win out.
Everyone, there's that bet right now, Auburn and Duke versus the entire field. And I don't know, man, I would not be taking Auburn or Duke versus the entire field. Like there's just so many ways, both those teams. I mean, Colby, would you take Auburn and Duke versus the field? It feels like there's so many ways they could fuck this up.
And the field has Rick Pitino and Tom Izzo having great teams. No.
No thanks.
And Kelvin Sampson. I mean, you got a lot there.
Give me Houston. If you give me Duke, Auburn, and Houston, I might take that bet.
Houston, come on. These are Houston's a team who fucks it up every year.
All right. This is a different Houston team. This is a different Auburn team. I kind of my macro take on college right now, watching more of the really good teams. It kind of does feel like there are some really good teams and there's a decent gap. That would be my take. South Dakota, North Dakota State, Fargo, North Dakota. They play this inside too up there. Those pussies, 9.5 point favorites.
Take outside. You don't get out for who?
Yeah, I mean, what are we? Give us a little preview of the conference here, Colby, as we round down the season.
The Summit League is actually way up as a conference. It's probably the best it's been in a few years. And North Dakota State's currently the 4 seed. South Dakota is the 5 seed, and let alone it's somewhat of a rivalry game here. And there, so the winner is to get the 4 seed. Because wait, how many?
It's Colby's internet fucking up again, right?
So I just haven't caught the.
What's going on?
Is it?
Yeah. Colby, exit out. Go in the internet penalty box. 1 minute. Did Colby's damn dog chewed his internet
Colby.
cable?
Reload your screen. Reload your screen. Yeah, pulling back the technical the technology curtain that is Colby. Dog literally ate his internet cable.
Yeah, you know how people say dog ate your homework and you think they're lying? As a boss, you're like, that come on, is that really dog ate your homework? Hey, while Colby's while Colby's redialing into his AOL.com account, I'm going to remind you about
pull over and dab time before Sean tells you about something.
MyBookie.ag. It is your place to get down on every sport. Plus, they have the live dealer casino. If you tuned in Sunday night, ran up a nice. I was up $400 over on MyBookie.ag with the blackjack stream. So super fun
Sunday. We will be back.
Yes,
Sunday.
We're going to be running the blackjack stream back Sunday night. Get in, hang out with us, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. Even if you don't take the bonus, and of course it is a rollover bonus, so check the details on it. But even if you don't take the bonus, put the promo code SGPN in there so they know we sent you. mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Of course, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Just talking to the Underdog guys, looking good for another year of Underdog because, of course, we like getting down on the pick'em, the best ball draft. I mean, you could do a best ball draft right now with $2 million in prizes. And essentially, you could be drafting for free if you don't have an account because you get that sweet deposit match up to $1,000. Colby, let's welcome you back into the show. Also, I don't know, Colby, did you see that we were playing Short Circuit last time when you were short circuiting with your internet?
And I believe I said, what have you been up to? I said yes. I was watching Short Circuit with Captain Harris from Police Academy. Big fan of Police Academy series. How many hot potato? How many Police Academies did they make, Sean?
7.
Damn.
Come on.
You're a fan. You're a fan too, huh?
I'm a cinema guru.
Hey, this.
You got the college basketball hump day slate over on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SGPN. Colby, what are some pick'ems you like for the Underdog? Higher, lower?
Did we? I believe we hit the last one too, right? Sears.
Of course we did,
21.
Because I'm in a state where I can't play the pick'em, and I always play it. And then I go, you know what? I know this one's gonna hit. So.
Yeah, Sears. No. Sears hit it by only a half a point higher. So I mean, it was 20.5. He had 20, and the other one was Shoga, which I believe hit that was the first one that hit, and then we were sweating out Sears. I'll go to the likes of the Syracuse Orange Men, Sean.
Let's go, baby.
This guy, Eddie Lampkin's played on every goddamn team in college basketball. He was on Colorado last year. They made the tournament. They beat the Florida Gators in the first round before losing to Marquette. But Lampkin, bit of a dog, taking on the Pussy Pack. I mean, there's gold in them there hills, higher than 11.5 points. Also, I like Wade Taylor. We just talked about this A&M game. Veteran guy, veteran team. He's the best player on the team, higher than 16.5 points in a desperate spot there in College Station. And I'll even tell you a third one. Ace Baldwin is my guy.
We love Ace Baldwin,
but he's going to have more than 2.5 turnovers against Indiana on the road at Assembly Hall tomorrow. Give me the higher on 2.5 turnovers.
Oh, what a sharp market. Like that.
Love it. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. All right, we were talking South Dakota, North Dakota State. Colby, what's the play here? What are we doing?
I don't remember where the hell I was at as far as explaining the Summit race, but this is a huge game for seeding. North Dakota State, we just saw them recently take down South Dakota State, and North Dakota State won this first matchup by 26. I think South Dakota's had this one circled. I think they cover the 9.5. Bison win, but it's too big of a number for a rivalry game with seeding at stake. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I've been leaning into I feel like every Summit, Colby, is every Summit League game a rivalry game? Like there's only it seems like
Denver. Once you get to Denver and the Denver Pioneers and Oral Roberts and shit, but yeah, they have those Dakota teams. Yeah.
Anytime the Dakotas are doing battle, I'm always taking the dog. It's a simple handicap, but it served me well over the years as I've been, thankfully Colby. Before I met Colby Kramer, you would be surprised at how little I bet on the Summit League. But really? My life has changed thanks to Colby.
I have that effect on people. They call me, what's that?
The Pick Dundee, the preacher of the good Summit League gospel. We need to get, you know how they do those on those like mega churches where they play that music and they're like, I've been saved. We need to pull some of that music because I think there's some. I'm making a note there, but I'll take South Dakota plus 9.5. Kramer, what are you doing?
How tall do you think a Jackrabbit is, Colby?
No idea.
Let's go 3.5 feet.
3.5 feet. Holy shit!
3.5 feet tall.
It's too.
They be running the streets.
Wait, don't they have these big ass ears?
No, come on, dude. They'd be like that. Midgets are 3.5 feet tall. What are we talking about? Imagine rabbits hopping around that were as tall as midgets.
I'm talking like you pull up the ear and you measure.
Oh, yeah. So you stretch them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
With their ears, how tall is a Jackrabbit? That doesn't feel like. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I've seen a couple in real life. They're definitely not 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, they got it. Those ears are fucking huge, man.
I'd say, yeah, they are big. I'd say 2 feet, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to get perhaps the ones down under a little bit bigger. than the ones in the States. I'm also on the Jackrabbits.
Wait, are you not going to give us the answer, Ryan? You just asked the question.
2 feet.
Oh, okay, 2 feet.
I said 2 feet, but then I wanted to look it up with the ear measurement.
Yeah, that's probably to the head, which makes sense. But I'm talking like you stretch out, you put that ear up, you bring out that tape, 3.5.
Colby's
abusing it depends where you, as with all things, it depends where you start the measurement. That's where you can really pad your stats.
Yeah, did you know they measure waves? Some measure waves from the front, some measure from the base or the back. I'm sorry. Villanova, Seton Hall. Go ahead, Colby. All right, Villanova, Seton Hall. We're heading to.
I thought you were asking my take on this game.
Oh yeah, well I'll get to that. Villanova laying 7.5 here. Not a great year for the Big East overall. These two programs included 5:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Colby, clearly we're taking the home dog here, right?
Got it. But Villanova is playing for their postseason lives. They have an opportunity to still make the NCAA tournament here, but they play a lot of close games, man. And going on the road here against a 7-20 team that just this is kind of a rivalry game.
You just beat Marquette by 15. Come on, Cats, let's roll.
Yeah, dude. It's look. What is their record on the road this year? 2-7. Villanova is
not good.
Give me the Pirates plus the points. Nova. No, I do think Nova might win though. Give me like a Nova win by 2, and Seton Hall gets it done.
He's setting something up here.
You could talk me into it if Seton Hall was good as a home dog. They're not. They're like 500 as a home dog. ATS. And this Villanova team, Colby, you mentioned what the record is. You're not factoring in the boost the city has gotten since I've recalibrated my lasers to college basketball. Watched a ton of that Marquette game. I'm gonna watch a ton of this Seton Hall game. They're going to roll. Give me the Cats laying 7.5 on the road.
Yeah, it's going to be just like the Xavier game we just watched. 7-point game. Nice cover for me and Colby. Penn
7-point game?
Yeah, okay. It's going to be a nice 7-point game. That's a cover in my book. Penn State, Indiana. It seems like the Mike Woodson stays around movement's gaining steam, Colby.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Keats 2.0. Yeah.
-6.5 here against Penn State. They're just going to keep this train roll. They're not dead in the water.
Oh, and let me tell you, if they get in, watch out. Because I think they're in. I mean, they have a very talented roster. You look at their past. Really, let's take a look at their past 4 games. Right, 4 games ago, they took on Michigan. They lost by 3. Right, Michigan in contention to win the Big Ten. Then they win at Sparty by 4. Michigan State looking like the front runner to win the Big Ten.
Yeah, looking like a nice win.
Then they lose to UCLA by 4. UCLA, a tournament team. Then they beat Purdue's ass by 15. So they've won 2 of 3, and they're 2-2 in their last 4. But all 4 are really good teams. I think we're onto something here. I think this is Kevin Keats 2.0. I'm laying that number at Assembly Hall. They're a much more talented team. Penn State's been ass on the road all year. They're 2-7 on the road. Meanwhile, Indiana and Mike Woodson 12-4 at home. Puff Johnson still out for Penn State. Load up. Ever since Indiana's gone to the zone, the defense has been fixed a little bit. All over the Hoosiers here.
It does feel like Penn State's going to sneak into the tournament. They're going to be in a play-in game. I'm going to be at Stadium Swim with a egregiously large ticket on Penn State, and they get destroyed. That feels like the path for this Penn State team.
Are they really on the bubble?
Penn State, no. Indiana, you could say,
No, but if they win a few games in the conference tournament, they don't have a shot to get in, Colby.
They'd have to win all the games.
I'd say if they beat Indiana, Maryland, and Wisconsin down the stretch, their final 3 games, and then win a couple games in the tournament, you might be onto something.
But they only have
even the
4 conference wins.
Yeah. They got to win Indiana, Maryland, Wisconsin because they're all 3. Probably going to be tournament teams. Then they got to win. Then they got to do some damage.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll take Indiana -6.5. This is a win-win. Either I win my money or I get to yell at you guys for doubting Penn State. It's a great situation.
Yeah, I'd say they're nowhere near. Like, are they on the NIT bubble? Maybe that's probably where they are.
Colby.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even. I think they got work to do to get to the NIT.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're on the NIT bubble. Wrong bubble, Sean. Sorry.
Noah pointing out Penn State might miss the Big Ten conference tournament. Yeah, well, that's those fucking. I mean, you're already sticking up for Big Ten. They tried to cancel football, Noah.
Of course he is.
You probably were too young to remember when Big Ten tried to take football away from us. We saved it though, and March Madness in one garage.
How many buys are the Big Ten debuting in their conference tournament this year?
I don't even know. You know, they're public enemy number one to me. It's not the SEC. It's the Big Ten. Just every time they try to they showcase these night games of like Washington taking on Rutgers, it just makes me want to vomit. So, they're on my shit list. I haven't even looked at that bracket. Set up. All I know is these conferences. You're not even a conference.
All right.
You have too many fucking teams.
Only a double bye for the top 4 seed. So still pretty traditional here compared to, I mean, who can forget what the Sun Belt's up to? Look at this thing. It's still beautiful. At least the Big Ten's rolling out a real bracket, but yeah. So wait, so how many of the Big Ten teams make it? Only the top
14.
15,
so 4 of
15.
4. Oh yeah, 15.
So 3
so
teams.
So 3 don't. Yeah. So stupid. What a dumb fucking conference.
One of them. That's beautiful. I mean, why not have every team make the conference tournament? Just
I know.
Like have a couple extra.
You know why? Because it would stretch. Once you get 18 teams, it would stretch out over like fucking 2 weeks now. Because these idiots ruin the Pac-12.
Yeah, but you could also just make it all one. Yeah, you could not make it so it stretches out for any more time. That's silly. Let's head over to Norman, Oklahoma, where Porter Moser is going to have to be kissing Sister Jean's feet to hopefully get that job back. He's definitely getting fired, right? Kentucky laying 2.5 here on the road against Oklahoma, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. I have heard some people make the argument that Oklahoma should be in the tournament because of what they did out of conference, and they've just lost to a lot of really good teams in their conference. How do you feel about that, Colby?
Kramer's an SEC honk all of a sudden.
No, I'm saying some people.
Well, Oklahoma, Arkansas won natties in the SEC. So I think they're going to find their way in. It's their football team that's going to be 6-6 for the rest of eternity. Look, Kentucky has had Bama on deck. The number what 4? What are they right now in the top 10? Right.
Kentucky just played Alabama, Colby.
Yeah, they have Auburn on deck.
No,
Auburn.
I mean, yeah, my bad. And now they go out to this new opponent they know nothing about. Oklahoma, brand new to the SEC. The sleepy ass environment too. It's kind of the Boston College crowd of the SEC with basketball. Boomer Sooner. Porter Moser saves his job. They're going to the dance. Big win.
Just throwing some serious shade out there.
Well, right, I mean, the fact that this number is only 2.5. The only thing, Kentucky has lost 8 games this season, 6-2 ATS of a loss, which certainly makes them intriguing. But they do have the look ahead spot to Auburn. They've been 0-3 ATS as a road favorite. I don't know.
2-6 on the road.
This is a weird road spot for them.
Yeah, I'll go.
It's an Alabama sandwich, which
No, most of their loss when they have had a bunch of back-to-back losses. All right, so you talk me into it. I'll take Oklahoma there, catching the 2.5. Kramer, what are you doing?
Kentucky currently on the 3 seed line, and Oklahoma must be one of the last 8 teams in on the 11 seed there. I 100% buy into what Colby's saying about this being a weird road spot here for Kentucky, and I guess this is a desperation spot for Oklahoma. It does seem like a pretty clear situational spot. Take the dog. Probably going to be my money line play. St. John's, again, apologies to Pitino for taking UConn or suggesting that UConn would have the Garden. Front running pussy ass UConn fans.
Yeah, I was told UConn would have home court.
That was shocking to me. I mean, there were definitely UConn fans in the building, but that was fairly.
That was like 95-5, dude. That shit was a St. John's crowd, man. Shocking. Spike Lee, they had everybody. Well, that's what Rick Pitino does. It's not shocking. Rick Pitino's a fucking goddamn magician.
It's shocking knowing how obnoxious the virus of UConn fans is in the Northeast, Colby. You know that. To see that is very shocking. I'm impressed, and like I said, I apologize to Coach Pitino. Won't ever happen again. St. John's laying 6.5 here now out in Indy against Butler.
7.5 now.
7.5. Wow. Obviously, a lot of people talking about this team now. It does seem like Pitino has them lined up. People are pointing out the stats around the other poor shooting teams to go on and win a national championship happen to be coached by him at Louisville. And yeah, I mean, in terms of a team that's just going to be fun to root for, this is that St. John's team. All that being said, we just talked about a weird spot in Oklahoma. Isn't that the same thing here?
Yeah. I love Butler in this spot actually, and I'm a Johnny's guy through and through, and the Johnny can still win this game but Butler is way better than their record. They're a strange team this year. Thad Matta has just found ways to lose games. And to me, like, if you go back and watch the first game, Butler was up majority of that game against the Johnnies. The momentum of the crowd there was the difference down the stretch. I think they stay within that number 7.5. And the Johnnies are just due for a bad shooting game. They're not a great shooting team, but they've been hot the past couple games. Going on the road to Hinkle Fieldhouse and against a team that is really, I mean, what Butler, they lost in overtime at UConn, played Creighton really tough. They've been in these games and a lot of them. So give me Thad Matta in the points here.
St. John's, real quick, Sean. St. John's has, to your point, Colby, been red hot. They're 3 straight games, I believe, shooting better than 40% from 3-point land. So maybe slightly below.
Not sustainable.
Creighton, but
not sustainable.
Against DePaul and UConn, they were shooting over 40% from 3-point. Yeah, to your point, they probably didn't correct their shooting woes. They probably just had some good shooting games. And again, this is a strange road trip. I mean, if I'm going to circle a road game as the season closes out for them to show up for, it's that Marquette game, not this Butler game. I'm with you. They win like a 2-point game. They win a close game. I did a Colby thing there where I also opened up the opportunity to Benedict if I want to.
So you're taking Butler 7.5, Ryan.
Yeah,
I'm going with St. John's every time. I mean, the St. John's team is a machine, and I know what you're saying, Colby, that they're not a good shooting team. They're due for some regression here, but I don't know, man. Butler finds ways to lose, and this St. John's team is legit. 7.5.
How far is St. Elmo's?
Yeah.
What?
How far is St. Elmo's from Hinkle Fieldhouse?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, honey, you got a little cocktail sauce on your dress.
Delicious.
It's the best. I mean, it's literally the popcorn gag, but with a shrimp cocktail platter and Rick Pitino's dick.
I'm on St. John's. You guys are crazy.
Good luck. As you said, that shrimp cocktail is legendary. Utah, Arizona, boy. Arizona really shat the bed against BYU the other night. 6 p.m. here on the West Coast. Arizona minus 15.5 against the dead program walking. Why is this one on here, Colby?
You know what's crazy is Utah just fires Craig Smith, their head coach. I mean, they're 15-12. They had just beaten Kansas and Kansas State at home. That like you could still salvage the season with a trip to Arizona. You still got BYU in the final game of the season, Arizona State and West Virginia. I understand you don't want it to be Kevin Keatts 2.0, so you just get him out of there if you have other plans. But it was pretty shocking because you're like, man, yeah, they weren't in the tournament, but they weren't officially out of it yet. Like if they won some of those games, and then went on a run in the Big 12, tournament, they'd be in. But I that's Max Boyd. Josh Eilert there is the head coach, interim head coach. He was the interim head coach for Hugs. So wishing him the best, but I just think it's a terrible spot for them. The McHale Center, Arizona's lost 2 straight at the McHale Center. This is just that happens like once every 20 years. So I'll load up on Arizona. I'll lay that number, even though it's chalky as hell, I bet.
Utah, there are only 3 teams in the country worse at shooting free throws than Utah.
Yeah. Come on.
Can you name them, Colby? Any of them?
Valley State?
No.
Wow.
Stephen F. Austin is one.
Ooh. They fired their coach too.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the in the Southland also. And the worst free throw shooting team in the country, Arkansas Pine Bluff out of the SWAC.
Oh, with my guy, Dr. Bradley.
I'm with Arizona minus 15.5. It's zone off a loss at home. The number's too big, but you can't take Utah.
Texas against Arkansas. We're heading to Fayetteville. Sean, big on the swine up there. Arkansas laying 3.5.
Pig suey.
All joking aside, have you guys ever seen a good video of a hog and a bull going at each other? Well, we really do have to start just segment dedicated only to watching animals fight. In this case,
big fan of that.
I'd probably
moose are underrated fighters. Like you watch those I don't know what the plural of moose is, moose, but they just
moose.
And they don't need a reason to throw down. They just throw down.
Well, it depends what they identify as, but moose just going head to head, they'll fuck up a neighborhood. Like you see those videos of people, they're like, hey, you're tearing up the yard, and just these fucking bull moose just tossing each other around. And there's it's almost too graphic to show, but there was like a photo I stumbled upon on one of those nature accounts where it was the moose that had clearly won, and it had the other in its antlers was the losing moose.
Oh yeah,
his head attached to the antlers, like it just decapitated it. Moose, elk, all those animals that have horns at battle.
But he got that pussy, and I bet after that, and he had that head just sitting there.
That you're sealing the deal. You come home with another moose's head on your antlers. You're like, hey, honey, come on. This moose dick isn't going to suck itself.
I mean,
man. Well, why is there no college basketball teams called the Moose?
What is that? Why? Like, what's the
No, they're. I think because it's like Rocky and Bullwinkle. They're like moose are like hippos. Hippos are fucking badass. They'll eat you. As far as animals responsible for the most deaths, go to Africa. A hippo will eat the shit out of you. But they're seen in America. You get a board game. You get they're fun. They got big bellies. Because they're eating shit all the time, including you. Yeah, this is an awesome moose bet.
Let's see if I can. I mean, imagine you walk out of your front yard.
Look at this.
I mean, low wind wins.
Are we pulling video right now?
Wow, your car.
Oh man,
it's just standing. Oh man, nice takedown. This guy's. I mean, a little bit you have to freak out. I will say, as someone who got this close to a live bison, at this point, you just hope you don't want to get noticed at this point, because what happens if both these things just turn and take this aggression out on you?
You're fun.
By the way, Sean, I did confirm multiple moose is also moose.
All right, story checks out.
Anyway,
those are kind of small moose too.
Yeah. But still, like it's that would be pretty wild. Anyway, I don't know. That's what we were talking about, animal fights and how a bull versus a pig would be an interesting battle. Arkansas laying 3.5 feels like Coach Cal is setting up a little tourney run. That's what it feels like on my side over here.
John Calamari.
It sounds like Coach Calamari could have a little.
Colby doesn't like that nickname.
Could be dancing. Could be dancing.
Yeah, no, I love this play. Look, Texas going to play themselves out of the NCAA tournament. You know, I hate Texas, and Arkansas. They found something. They found, less is more. The injury situation has helped the team, believe it or not. So give me the Razorbacks laying that number at home in a rivalry game. This is a reunited rivalry game, Southwest Conference style.
Yeah, no, all over Arkansas here. I think this is a not a bad spot for him laying that short number. And I mean, I kind of liked Patino, what I was hearing from him after they lost at Auburn. I know you don't want to be the guy who says that was like
Calipari, not Patino.
You mean you're confusing? Yeah, come on, Jesus.
Well,
Christ.
I was making fun of Colby for his John Calamari. I got sidetracked.
They all look the same. Is that what you're saying?
The slick-haired, pale white coaches. Yeah, they kind of do look pretty similar. Where was I? Oh yeah, John Calamari. What he was saying after that Auburn loss, and you hate to be the guy that was like, "Oh, that was actually a good loss for them." I kind of think it was, and we identified that as a good spot for them at home against Missouri. Now they're at home again against Texas. I think they match up pretty well for them, and I like them laying the 3.5 potential lock here.
Yeah,
Arkansas.
I mean, Texas is not a Final Four team. He said that Auburn was a Final Four team, so that step down in class. Yeah, I thought the Missouri win too was impressive. So that was, and yeah, that line ended up closing shorter than we projected, but I still think this Arkansas team is good. What? All right, so let's see. Arkansas right now basically on the bubble right there with Texas, both projected to be
huge game.
Seeds, right?
Absolutely huge games. Fantastic.
When Arkansas is an 11 seed and they're playing against Kansas. Oh boy, we're going to have to bet on John Calamari. We just have to, let's make sure we're all prepared for what's coming down the barrel here. BYU, Arizona State, two teams that have been real wrenches in my my account out there and over on my bookie. BYU had not been getting either one of these teams right by any stretch of the imagination. BYU -4.5. I probably should just blindly say forks up and take Arizona State here in Tempe. The Soakers are going a real uphill battle out there in the desert. Colby, this BYU team's been an interesting team this year, getting a lot of respect on the number right now.
Oh, I think this line stinks. I think this line's telling you Arizona State is going to be in this game. Because I mean, look at Arizona State. They've been ass at home, 5-7 at home. But how about this? BYU won on that bullshit call in Tucson. Regardless of its bullshit being, that call to get a win at Arizona.
Yeah.
You got to fade. You got to fade the next game. I don't care who they're playing. It could be Valley State.
No, and this granted, BYU has been playing well. I mean, I thought the refs had a horrible job with their hands all over that game. That being said, BYU still is playing pretty good. Obviously, they took it to Kansas. Then you win at Arizona. But this is a back-to-back road spot. They've won 4 in a row. This Utah or BYU team has to be feeling a little fat and happy. And now you're a road favorite at ASU. This is the perfect time to hop on the Sun Devils. I love ASU here. Kramer, what are you doing?
I'm choking a little bit.
Right.
I was getting excited.
I'm not in studio to give you mouth-to-mouth CPR, whatever you're angling for. No. So play through it.
They didn't stay in the desert, right, Colby? They wouldn't have stayed for 5 days.
Works up, baby.
Okay. No, not forks up. No, that's the original handicap. Give me forks up. Oh, this BYU team, you're not at all worried. They're just red hot, Colby. I'm struggling. I feel like I'm choking still. All right. Colby, we're not worried at all about them just being red hot.
I don't know. There's a lot of Mormons in Arizona.
you saying okay? I don't know how to handicap this game. Give me my Arizona State forks up. Sun Devils. I don't know what's happening. Time is a flat circle, whatever they say. Utah State,
Power through, Kramer.
Boise State. We're heading to Boise, Idaho. A little Mountain West battle here. I'm sure Colby's spent personal time with both of these coaches, so he can't objectively handicap this game. But for the sake of Sean and potentially, CJ probably wants them to lose this game, so the price on the future gets better because he hasn't yet gotten it in yet. Sean probably wants them to win the game to feel like he's already collecting some CLV.
I got him at 80 to 1.
I personally think that Boise at home here is in a great spot. Colby agrees with me, I'm sure. Anyway.
So what? San Diego State is. So this is important to know, though. San Diego State has been up double digits. It's at 8 right now against New Mexico. The reason why I say this is if New Mexico loses, then Utah State can be live to get the 1 seed. I mean, they're still live even if New Mexico wins, but it's unlikely then. But this is a huge game. Boise is also the last 4 on the, or I'm sorry, first 4 out on multiple people's, brackets. So gigantic game here, but I'm going to go with the home team in Boise State. That they're the most experienced team in this conference. Utah State has been unbelievably impressive in Calhoun's first year there, but Boise is 12-1 at home. And guess who that one team beat them was San Diego State, because they're the best team in the fucking conference when it comes down to it. Give me Boise to get it done. Lay that number. They win by 8.
Ooh.
Yeah, they've been good at home. Boise State 9-3 ATS, which is certainly super impressive. But how can you fade Utah State? They're playing great ball and they're catching 3.5 to me. This is going to be a really good game. It's going to be a 1-score game. Give me Utah State plus 3.5.
Yeah. Good luck, Sean. You must have not looked at the free throw percentages. If you haven't,
no,
already,
I mean,
don't
I'm looking at my bet slip that has Utah State 80 to 1 to make it to the Final Four. So I need a team this year. Doesn't look like Syracuse or Villanova are going to get in. Lehigh probably gets in once they win the Patriot League, but it's not a sure thing. I need a team.
What Colby, let's play that game real quick. What game or what tournament will Syracuse make?
They will turn down the CIT. That's the new thing about this bitch generation is they don't want to play. They don't want to play basketball. Remember how many people turned down the NIT and the CIT? Bunch of fucking losers. So Syracuse will turn down
CLT.
They'll go get some more Bob Costas pink eye. But
you fix that. I can fix the postseason tournaments. You make the cash prize for the players. Done.
Or you just want to play basketball because you're that age.
I'm just saying these tournaments are all for money. Give the players a little pot. Winning team. Each player gets a check for $75,000. Boom, done. That's probably good for most of the team.
Pretty sad state of things though that you don't want to play basketball.
Oh, I agree. Don't get me started. Young people suck. Mostly suck. Some young people don't suck. It used to be the 80-20 rule in terms of 80% of the population is useless, 20% does all the useful stuff. That's probably moved to about 90-10. Ohio State heads out west to take on USC. I think we fade them on the first game, right, Colby? USC laying 2.5.
I'm seeing 1.5 right now.
1.5. Is it that simple?
I don't know, man. This is a stupid game. But
Colby does get to decide what games we break down.
I do this because they're gigantic fan bases. They're gigantic fan bases, so you put them on there.
You're pandering to the people.
I'll lay it with USC. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, like Ohio State kind of phoned it in on the basketball hire. They went all in on football with their NIL.
But don't we have a formula? You fade the team when they're out in LA the first game, and then you play them the second game. And USC is coming. They just lost to Seton Hall. Now maybe that's a bounce back, but it's also a crazy travel spot. Did we learn our lesson with taking UCLA a little while ago in this exact same spot?
USC lost to Rutgers. USC lost to Rutgers, not Seton Hall. But Yeah, I just think Musselman's team's better, and he's a better coach. I don't even want to watch this, but let's take USC. This is one of these bullshit
I'm thinking
Big
Ohio
Ten games.
State. I think they're not a horrible team. Now obviously they've lost 3 in a row, but 2 UCLA, Northwestern. I mean, how'd they lose to Northwestern? I still don't know. That, right before the UCLA road trip, fine, whatever. But I like them here against USC.
What kind of hotel?
Kramer, what are you doing?
What kind of hotel you think they're staying in out in LA with that?
Yeah, nice Marriott, mid-level Marriott.
Chip Kelly hooked him up with a spot.
For a little while there, that they were staying in the one of the hotels there in Glendale, California. Not exactly.
No, actually, at one point they were staying at the I bartended at the Hilton and Universal City Walk for.
Oh man, imagine whoever plans to travel. How is that where you land?
Oh, isn't that because you? I agree. I agree.
That's the last spot you want to end up with a bunch of college kids. I mean, that's just an accidental assault waiting to happen. Sean nailed it. This is this is Ohio State's been here since Sunday. We think they've been hanging out at City Walk, just smashing up at the what's that bar?
Hit the Minions ride.
It's like the moon something.
Moon.
Yeah.
Howling at the Moon, the piano bar. Had a couple nights there,
dude. They used to do stand up there, right?
Yeah.
I remember doing that. Yeah.
And people hated the show because they wanted to be for the piano bar. So if you did regular stand up comedy, they were really pissed off. They're like, we came here for dueling pianos, not dueling dickheads.
I feel like there's a saddle ranch up there too, man.
There is. Yeah.
Is that one still going?
Oh, I'm not.
I think so. But the best is that you have the
bubblegum shrimp.
You have the Universal Studios there with the backdraft ride that burnt down. Remember that?
That's perfect.
The irony.
Right?
Oh, so guys, you want to feel old? Guess when the Saddle Ranch at City Walk closed?
No way.
Well, hold on, because
I've got shit hammered there before.
The last, I can't. I'm never there.
No, it had to be.
10 years
no
ago.
way. No way. 5 years
Colby?
ago.
January 2nd, 2017.
That's 7 years ago. Over 7 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Do the math.
I mean, that
You're
place.
supposed to be the math guy.
I'm glad to see that place go. That place was robbery. You go there. You couldn't get out of there with like a $200 tab just for like 5 drinks.
You get the giant fish bowl of like Windex and whatever other liquors they're pouring in there.
No, it was the milk jar. It was like a milk jug of adios motherfucker. That was one of the
that was
things,
what you got.
right?
You get 2 of those, you're hammered.
Yeah,
they're like $35.
Do they still have the one on Sunset? Is that still going? Okay.
Yeah.
And they
taking my wife there.
The creepiest bull ride operator on the planet. Just those guys are like the guys who get fired from the strip club from being creepy. Then they go and operate the bull at the Saddle Ranch on Sunset. The Dons of San Francisco had Corvallis for a little matchup against the what's the update on Oregon State? What conference are we in? I've heard the Pac-12 is coming back. Hopefully they bring back the Pac-12 network.
Well, it's a Pac-2 right now for 1 more year, and then we get the Pac-12.
8 p.m. on Wednesday. Oregon State laying 2.5 against the Dons. Is that the correct number, Colby?
Yes, and that's because they're going to win.
Okay.
Oregon State at home has been pretty damn good. 15-2 at home. They took down Gonzaga earlier in the year at home. They've been good at home at the Gill Coliseum. So San Francisco won that by 11 back in January. Oregon State still on the way on the outside. They need wins, and they need wins against decent opponents. If you're looking for potential to for the most lit environment, I bet this will be pretty underrated.
Pretty lit.
Out of the slate of games we have here.
They got a chainsaw on the sideline of the basketball games.
No, they need to.
Yeah.
But look, they're the 21st rated offense in the country are these Beavs. And San Francisco, 129th, going on the road. No, give me these Beavs. Beav up.
The Dons do play defense, though. And defense does travel.
8th best free throw shooting team in the nation is this Oregon State team with Wayne Tinkle.
That's fair.
Wayne, I got to take a quick tinkle.
Nice.
I'm with. Thank you. I'm with Colby. Oregon State. I mean, who are the Dons? San Francisco a little overrated.
I'm a fan of the Dons.
Oregon State. The Corvallis is a tough place to go. On the road. Playing 2.5.
I also would point out, if I was going against the Dons, I would also point, which I really like their defense. I would also point out that the Dons struggled when they went to Pullman, which is perhaps a similar spot. But I'm not taking that position.
You're taking San Francisco in the 2.5.
I'm taking the Dons, and I also want to bring it to everyone's attention. I'm not sure why Colby hasn't mentioned this to us yet this season. Shame on him, but. Are we aware there's a guy on Oregon State named Nate Kings with a Z? This guy, Nate Kingz.
I love these photos.
Does he have a grill? Is he showing off a grill?
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah!
But how does the last name Kingz come about? That's not real, right?
You're a king, but you bring an attitude.
That's wild, Nate. I got to be honest. I mean, with all the takes Sean's had about some of these fake Kyler, names of the future.
Yeah, we haven't really seen fake last names.
Kings? This isn't a real name. No one's ever used a Z like an S like this. This is not. All right. Anyway.
3 locks and a dog. Kramer, you didn't use the sound effect barely at all.
I got a lot going on over here, Sean. Okay. Can't do everything. All right. I'm you can juggle the bowling pins, but maybe not the samurai swords, Lock number 1. I have no
idea what that means.
Just the little degree of difficulty is what I'm talking about. Texas A&M lay this 7.5.
Okay.
Oh, do I also lock up Maryland here? Yeah, let's lock up Maryland.
I wouldn't. You're fading Tom Izzo as a dog. Okay.
We're also going to lock up. Let's see, 2 favorites. Do I need a dog? No, Arkansas. Let's lock that up. And then I believe I mentioned that Oklahoma would be my money line dog.
2.5 point money line dog.
That's a nice juicy 120.
Kramer, you're going back to your old ways there with the all favorites special, huh?
I just sticking to the system. Got a pretty huge lead in the lock competition so far. So I'm not gonna break what's working. And I think, has the San Diego State game gone final, Colby?
No, but we are looking pretty good.
So we're about to put another lock in the bag.
Oh yeah, buddy.
So, feeling good, looking good, getting paid good. Everyth's good.
All right, first lock for me. Give me John Calamari, Arkansas, laying the 3.5.
Great pick.
Horns down. I'll take a couple interesting plays here. I'll take Indiana laying the 6.5. You guys are right. Penn State sucks.
Wow.
A little reverse psychology. And when the Dakotas are doing battle, you always take the dog. South Dakota plus 9.5. And for my money line play, I'm officially a Utah State fan. Give me the Aggies on the money line. Oh, and Avetta in the chat says South Dakota money line dog.
Oh,
I'm with you, Avetta. Let's go. Although I like Utah State too. Colby, what are you doing?
Let's lock up the Razorbacks against Texas. Horns down always.
Oh no, we all have Arkansas. Jesus.
Let's lock up Maryland.
Wait,
Colby, you're familiar with Tom Izzo's work as an underdog?
That's against Big Ten teams. Maryland's still an ACC team.
Colby, is this the triple lock music?
There we go. Let's go. I'll go with Oregon State as the final play as a lock. Ooh. Give me those Beavs and the dog. is what should I?
Colby very chalky tonight.
Yeah.
What? Go Arizona State money line.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
Forks
it.
up.
Let's go.
I like it. All right, bunch of locks, bunch of dogs. Tomorrow's episode going to talk a little NFL futures with our buddy CJ. Of course, hop over if you're watching live over onto the College Experience, and you should already be subscribed to the College Experience. Basketball, football, baseball. Saw Noah there in the chat. Promo code Madness, 20% off everything in the merch store. Got a new St. Patty's Day shirt dropping, and come hang out with us in Vegas. If you can't, you still got a chance at the $250 future. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party.
Real quick.
Easy enough to remember. Yes.
Just realized I accidentally, I may have gotten my San Diego State action after a tip. So it was live, and I, looks like I triple bet it. So hopefully this game works out.
All right. Best of luck, Kramer.
8-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go. I'm laying 3.
What? Oh, dude. I mean, you may as well cash it. What could go wrong?
Jesus. Well, I triple bet it, so it could either way. It's going to be exciting.
Hey, of course, appreciate everyone tuning in. As always, toss us a nice rating and review, and of course, thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast. For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Colby, next show, let's talk about my Akron Zips, please.
Kramer, let it ride.